Welcome back, everybody. And before we get into the business at hand, another shout out to Canyon subscriber, supporter, and unofficial Patreon, Andy Y, for sending out the subject and topic of today's, I call them Quickviews because it's a review, and it might not be quick by some standards, but quick by my standards, in that generally, if I'm gonna do a full-fledged review of something, I've got to put in the time. And this is more of a, what do we got? What are we looking at? How do the basics go? Like, how do they mount? What is the impression directly out of the package? The topic of today's shenanigans, as it were, JConcepts, the Hold. These are brand new, and there is, there's a chance these would have turned up one way or the other. If you've been here before, you know my feelings about JConcepts tires. There are a lot of them in here. And I was given advance notice that they would be arriving. So I started thinking about who's going to be the mule for this. And I've pretty much arrived at Blue Sky High. This Blue Sky High is fitted with some aged Pitbull Growler ATs, and they were just kind of the default. Like, I did a rundown of a couple different tires, and of what I tested, they were the best. They were the best of the lot, not the best imaginable option. I will lead off by saying the foam feels pretty firm for what we're used to from JConcepts. The compound is definitely JConcepts green, which is, make it into a ball and watch it slowly turn back into a tire. Center tread feels normal JConcepts thickness, similar to a Tusk, Landmine, Hunk, anything like that. To me, just with this, using this micrometer, the sidewall feels a little thicker. Got a little loose rubber there. These can clearly be run one of two ways. We have that way forward, and we have that way forward. I'm going to guess, for the purposes of this, I'm going to go this way, because in general, when JConcepts puts their compound dot, the green dot, tends to be on the inside of the tire, which of course means I could just run them around this way, and now the other way is forward. So the beauty of a semi-directional tire is when I mount them, I just make sure it's green dots facing in on all four tires, and we shouldn't have a problem. I lost the leather punch there momentarily. I run all tires vented through the carcass, and this can be particularly challenging with JConcepts as they are very soft, and when you try to get the punch in there, the tire just wants to fold over. Did I get the, yeah, that punched a really small hole. The compound actually seems a little gummier than the usual JConcepts green. That's a 4mm punch to punch out the hole, and then it seems like the rubber just kind of tucks back in over the hole. So you could probably potentially go to a, if you punch your tires for vent, you could go with a bigger hole. It should be fine. Let's hope it should be fine. I've only had a couple of tires in the past where 2 4mm holes wasn't enough, and you get the what I kind of call tire wheeze, whereas as it's driving, not just like doing a bench squeeze, as it's driving you can hear the tires, and that's when you know you get to pull your bead locks apart and punch more holes. Or in the days of gluing stuff on, you would just have to drill a couple holes in the wheel and go with the double ventilation, and then for some reason, I don't know if it's centripetal force or whatever, but those tires would invariably fill with dirt, which is kind of why I've always gone with 2 holes, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock positions, center of the carcass, so that anything that I don't want in the tire that gets in the tire kind of gets flung out. Now, I believe here is our, I don't believe that this is our subject of the day. I know it is. But I believe the foams installed in these are JConcepts mediums. I'm not 100% sure. And we don't need, as this is a quick review, which will go on, half an hour. Let's be honest about it. I don't need to compare the holds up against aged pit bulls. And there's a good amount of wear on those side lugs. These are still perfectly, fully viable tires. It's not as if they will be discarded. They may actually, indeed, be just remounted to another set of wheels. Let us pull one of these apart and get to the first meat and potatoes of this particular quick review, which is ease of mounting, which is something that is near and dear to my heart because I have had some episodes of just horror. And yes, this is a JConcepts medium, which would come with any typical JConcepts tire. The foam that comes in the hold is significantly firmer. This is much, much firmer. I don't know of. Okay, all right. Let's do this. Let's do this unscientifically. Let's take our scale. We'll leave it on grams. We'll take the soft foam, which is 12 grams. Remember that if you can. I won't. All right, and we will take something of known size. We will go with the rod that stops Blue Sky High from falling off of his perch. And if I push down on that until it feels like it stops, I'm at about, it was around 2,200 grams to completely collapse the foam like that. 2,200 grams of force with a 5/16, aka 8mm dowel. This foam, they weigh 10 grams because it's -2. Pressing down. 3,600 grams. So just loosely, roughly, unscientifically, the foam that comes in the holds is about 50% more firm than a typical JConcepts medium. So I don't know if the packaging specifies. I don't believe JConcepts generally specifies what foam is included with the tire. I mean, just doing this, like obviously you can't determine how much force I'm applying to do that, but there is, trust me on this, there is more force required. Now, perhaps they will break in a little. Medium, the old, what I will now call the old JConcepts mediums, they just tend to retain that level of compression and rebound, of foaminess. These are definitely firmer. Blue Sky High is not particularly heavy. The foam cut actually seems pretty good. You generally want to see if you can get the lip down inside the foam like that. It's not pooching out too much. We can see a little foam rise there. This just comes into play when you're trying to get the faces of the wheel to set against the ring, because there's a good chance that foam is going to try to wedge itself between the cosmetic, the wheel face, and the beadlock ring. This is the inside. These wheels, Amazon SSD clones, have something of a reputation on the internet. For whatever reason, some folks cannot get them to mount. I have never really had much of a problem with them. In my experience, all you need are the helpers. So this is the screw that holds the hub on, and every pair of wheels you buy comes with 2 of these. And having the helper is, in my estimation, very important, because the finish length screw is the exact length you need to bolt the hub to the wheel. And we need something that's a good, but roughly twice the length, basically. And getting the first one started is always an episode, because I was only equipped from the factory with 2 hands, and this is genuinely an instance where you could use 3. So I know there are such things as little clamps to clamp the halves together. Now, if I can just, we'll use the bench as our 3rd hand. If I can get 1 screw started, come on. Now, so far, on record, no mounting issues whatsoever so far. The rim has squidged off a little bit here. This is another non-issue with JConcepts green, which is the compound is so soft. It has been more than one occasion that I have lost screws because I didn't notice. Like, green compound is pretty sticky. Some others, like ruptures straight out of the case, are like glue. Like, they'll grab everything on the bench. This is enthralling, I know. So all I do is work to get, this is how I mount every tire. This isn't specific to anything JConcepts. I get 3 down the extendos, basically until they're about even with the back of the hub, like that. And at that point, I know that the wheel has been pulled close enough together that I can go 1, 2, and a 3. Now, I feel like I'm already missing one. Yeah, see? Right out of the tread. So as those 3 are tight, this is why in any tire mounting you have to disclaim that results may vary. I don't go full down. I just have those 3 slightly tighter than I had the long ones. And then when this goes, just until I feel the threads start to pull. Yeah, my trusty Bosch, I don't know if it's this battery is going. it has started to do this. Like, it'll quit like that. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully I can get through. Oh, look, I'm setting the clutch. We'll go to 7 because these are 2.5 millimeter. I think this battery is done. That would actually be good for me because that means there's nothing wrong with my favorite drill. Okay, it is really cutting out. All right, and a little cross tighten. I like to get a little hit of clutch all the way around generally. I think the low bat is messing with me. All right, there we go. The first of the holds mounted to the wheel. I mean, definitely. Can I get a little side angle? There we go. That's with about maybe 2 pounds of deflection there. This is much more firm, but height-wise, looking about the same. But if you'll notice, we got a good bit of roll. So I'm wondering if JConcepts went firmer because of that. That edge deflection is pretty significant. So unless these wow me right out of the bag, I have plenty of foam options. I have a full set of Crawler Canyon, a full set of Crazy Crawler mediums. I've got some of the Amazon 2 stages. I've got hair buns. I've got the traditional JConcepts mediums. I've got a number of ways to go. Oh, let's see. Are we gaining or losing weight? 213 versus, it feels lighter, 192. So the tire itself, 90, 72. The tire itself is lighter, I think, because growlers run a little bit of belting. But like I say, we're not comparing them against growlers. We're just going to look at the basic raw out of the package performance. And the only sort of frame of reference I have is a 213 gram total combo Pipple Growler AT in compound, the firmer compound, versus the new JConcepts Hold, same exact wheel. They do look pretty good. I don't hate that. And you know me, I'm a side lug guy, and these tires are going all in on the side lug. So I am going to mount 3 more of these, and then you'll see me again. All right, everyone. Here we are, and we are here. No issues whatsoever. I think this is number 3. I kind of went 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to the 4th one and noticed I had a little bit of bead popping out, which is because I rushed it. You get lazy, you get complacent, you think, I've done this 1,000 times. They should just slap right on here. What I will say, if we're giving a letter grade for ease of mounting, oh, I need a little higher there. I'll give JConcepts the Hold a solid B+, A-. Now, there are those tires out there which, as the compound gets firmer, they get closer to an A grade when it comes to mounting. Like, a Canyon Trail is so easy to mount on 99% of the wheels you go to put it on. These SSD clones are not. Oh, I've poked a pooch a little bit right there. So more towards the B+ than the A-. You kind of have to. You got to be a little more vigilant with the cross tightening procedures so as not to pop them out. But as I think I got halfway through saying, the SSD clones are not super forgiving. If you have, say, for instance, just a typical set, these are the Benedict Harry alloy bead locks, they have such a wide ring on them that even them being 5-bolt backs instead of 6-bolt backs, they're very, very easy to mount. These are super forgiving wheels. So these wheels not being nearly as forgiving, I stand by the B+, A- ranking for ease of mounting. Now what we hope is that we have enough voltage left in those AA's to get some hot rock wheel time so that we can make this quick review official. I like the look of them, and I think the tread block, honestly, the tread block is pretty tall. So we might get some fupping. The steering wheel is a little longest. Oh, you know what helps? Plug it in and turn it on. Oh my God. This is what happens. My hands are moving faster than my brain. Because, again, the same reason I've got a little pop of bead that's not locked all the way in. It's user error. If I had taken my time, but red light fever, as it were, we might get a little scrapity-do. Yeah. Those sound very new. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a sound for you. What we're gonna do, so as not to sully these with the cocoa powdery dirt that can be found outside, I'm gonna carry this out. We're gonna do slick rock first, and then we'll do an array of little tests, because I feel like I've gotten to the point where I can kind of tell right away. I genuinely feel like these foams are too firm, but I've never put these tires to rocks before. So let's put these tires to rocks right now. On the one hand, do I wish I was testing these tires when it was 106 degrees outside? The answer to that is no. But on the other fingers of the same hand, not even on the other hand, I don't think we should give tires the just optimal situations all the time. We seldom operate in completely optimal conditions. The surface has not been cleaned. You can see the tires, that JConcepts green, picking up material. I'm not even using four-wheel steer, and just right up. That is, in my estimation, that's an A tier tire performance up slick rock. These tires are a little big for the height that this body is mounted at. We will forgive that. It is not the tire's fault. Drag braking. Yeah, it can't even out gravity the tires. Like I'm seeing no movement without rotation, and the Hobbywing Fusion prevents all rotation. That was the first little bit. This vehicle is front weight biased, but let's see how they grip with the treads the other way. Oh, it's almost up. Yeah, I do think that even this early on, and with ignoring weight bias, I would say that the correct direction to run the treads is what you see there. That front point of the lug aiming forward, because we didn't get this noise. We didn't get that noise when attempting the ascent in the forward direction. So apparently the stiffness of those foams is not a negative at this point. I would be remiss if I did not take it to the angle. Heavyweight foams. and all. There was some good deflection on that rear tire right there. All right, this is low in the cut. That passenger front is about as low as you would want to go. Now, where this will come into play, where we will be able to tell the foam tire cooperation is when that tire gets right about where that point of sunlight is, right about there. Is it gonna swing? Is it gonna roll? It's getting a little light in the rear. It's not an unanticipated result. But I don't know if it's anything that we can immediately attribute to the tire. That line was real low. If I can push that nose 2 inches higher, yeah, that's a lot of forward drive. You can see the angle of attitude that it's taken there. And now, even if it does slide, I have to steer. And you know, I was making an effort not to use 4-wheel steer before, and I initiated it at a point I shouldn't have. But the foams seem perfectly competent at aggressive side hilling. Forward traction is very high. Very high. Straight over the top of the rock, getting caught in between the wheelbase here, and we roll out. If you're testing the tire and you're not rolling it out, you are not testing a tire. Trying to minimize solar exposure to everything, primarily myself and the recording device. That's some wildly off camera there. We're gonna give it a little steer. It might push over because that's asking a lot. But no, it's pretty good. Pretty dirty in that little crevasse there. All right, we've got 3-ish minutes under the wheels. 4. I've lost track already. I can make an early and potentially controversial statement. I'm just doing a steady state here. Potentially controversial statement. These might be the new ruptures. I mean, they grab that hard. Blue Sky High is an excellent descender. We're just gonna back out of this. No, I want it this way. No, I want the other way. I think I've put myself in what they call an intractable position. No, we're good. We're good. Haven't driven 4-wheel steer in a minute or two, other than just a few minutes with Zoidberg, so trying to get mentally back in it. That's a 5-inch vertical with a lot of dirt on it. This obstacle is not set in at all. I would give from what we just saw right there, I would rank bumpability on the whole a solid A. That was bumping from dirt to dirty rock. That's kind of worst case scenario. And let's see if it'll pull through this line right here. I would expect the rear to lose out a little. Watch that passenger side rear. That is a claw. That's really quite good. Forward drive, A. Using the 4-wheel steer to push me back around. I want to try this sort of dropping down this ledge here. Oh, I got a big part of the chassis mired up right there. There we go, little bump through. try to cliff hang right here. Yeah, too dirty. Too dirty. And again, the lugs in reverse, they don't look that much different, but there is a lot less available traction with the bar the other way. Let's try straight up. The further right you are, the more you're doing. That tire is it's gonna pull it. Now driver's side rear, which can't be seen right now, is just in the dirt. And now we're sidling over. Let's try to bank it against too much angle. Look at that pull out. That was nice little suspension settle there. Little I'm impressed. I'm impressed for out of the box. And again, this is me, I guess, in that moment, little three-wheel motion here. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Trying to think I know more than the JConcepts folks, because those foams, as I saw and unscientifically tested, quite firm. But this is the soft tire hard foam proof of concept as far as I'm concerned. Now there's nothing here. Can this guy find a spot to bite? Push that nose end around. Very slippery here. Like I say, a lot of dirt in there. This obstacle is not 24 hours old. Try it this way. There, I was just going at it the wrong way. Push that way, push back this way, and straight over the top like nobody's business. Honestly, in a later date, at a later time, as this is the Quickview, I would put these on par, if not maybe a little stronger in forward traction than a Rupture. And it makes no sense. They don't feel like it. With how tightly spaced the lugging is, yeah, these tires are they're an X factor. I'm gonna set a 3-minute time limit on this. I am directly in the sun, but if we do not test this up against Daphne's other line, have we tested it against anything? It's a verted drop there. A little more. Now that wheel is high. It's a very steep drop there. No problem. I'm not even gonna bother to go all the way to. No, I am. I take that back. We gotta see. We gotta see transition. Yeah, if these are the permanent tires and for Blue Sky High, and at the moment, kind of maybe. I'm gonna have to raise that body up a post hole. Transitioning test. Get to a spot you can actually transition. A lot of rubbing there. Just had to get to the right spot. Push it back around. Got that chassis bogged in. We'll try another little bump. Alright, got to recenter here. Nope, back. Steering wheel fell out for the rear. There we go. I think the tire was actually stuck in the body, and I just kept pushing on steering wheel 2, and had pushed the steering wheel. Ah! All right, got a little too aggressive there. Yeah, see that transition there, like nothing. Need more cut this way. Too much. Not enough? Too much. Nope. So those tires are dusting in remarkably well, and I am running out of my time limit. Bump it up. Double bump. There we go. Yeah, it's not a good angle. I'm gonna blame it on the heat. I'm not getting into the spot in that cut that I want to be. And then I'm just four-wheel steering my way off the side. Okay, one more dig at it. I know I'm over time, but transitioning still tremendous. Bump, excellent. I might have to do another little test of these on Yella to test these for dig capability, because the Rupture is not a super great dig tire. It has too much grip. No, I need this. Right there, right there. Nope, I'm defeating myself here. Okay, this is viable. It'll pull that right there. That's on sheer face. Both rear tires, sheer face. Trying to position the rear up in the notch to get a little more bite out of it. It's biting and flopping. Okay, try the other cut, and there it is. We got to go inside to talk this out. Get over the other side, Blue. All right. Oh, my feet are literally burning. You know it's hot outside when it's 85 in your workshop and you're like, this is pretty nice. So here we are to wrap it up. The JConcepts Hold, which as you saw were very shiny and packaged new just mere moments ago. And that good old green compound, it really picks it up. I didn't notice any real drop off in traction when obviously it's very dry out, but when they started to get real dusted up, they to me they felt exactly the same. So this is a tire that I genuinely feel out of the package every bit as good as Ruptures, and provided that these don't go the same route that the Tusks have, you might actually be able to get them. Perhaps in part due to the name. I don't think that the Hold is a tremendous name, and this is anecdotally unrelated. The camera got so hot being outside that every 15 seconds or so of recording, the screen starts to go dim, and if I don't tap the screen to wake the phone back up, it just shuts off the recording. So if anything is going to force me into a state of wrap this up quickly, dummy, it will be the fact that the camera keeps turning itself off. I just had to set it inside the cooler for about 20 minutes, and it helped a little. I got about a minute that time before the screen went dim, but phone as recording device in 106 degree temperature, not super happy. So I gotta figure something out. At some point I gotta figure something out. I'm just relying on the phone because it's easy. Anyway, there it goes. That was 20 seconds on the dot. Back to the tires. Do I recommend them? From a Quickview standpoint, yes. They are very good. I cannot speak to their longevity directly, but I can speak to their longevity in regards to other JConcepts offerings, as I own Landmines, Tusks, Hunks, Ruptures in 2.2, Ruptures in 1.9. I've got Bounty Hunters in Class 1. I've got Landmines in Class 1 and Class 2. So I've got some JConcepts experience under my belt. These are every bit as good as any other JConcepts offering. And as per usual, a pair of JConcepts tires, you know, they always do this on the packaging, $38. Would I recommend these at $38? Maybe. Honestly, maybe. That's in the neighborhood of Alien or Predator compound stuff. And I would say you're every bit as good here. These are, to put it in a single word, remarkable. I was genuinely surprised by that amount of grip with how... I wish there was feel-o-vision and you could feel how firm these are. They do not behave in any way like a tire foam combo that firm. Like, I have to put, there it goes again. I've got to put some pressure on that. So in quick summation, we're going to sum it up right now as my leg tries to cramp. Forward drive A, side bite A, ease of mount B plus, A minus. Price point, if you're getting them at that $24 to $28 a pair, very good. Blue Sky High is in the sort of, I think he's about 6.5 pounds. Let's try to weigh him real quick before the camera goes kerblooey. To that. Blue Sky High, ready to go. 29.46 in grams. That is, call it 6.5 pounds, 6.494 RTR, ready to go. So the foam's included. I think you could probably dip down to about 6 pounds, and above that, I think you'd be, honestly, I think you'd be pretty good up to around 8. So there's no hidden costs there in the notion of, oh, the tires are great on the foams that they came with, but now I'm going to have to buy some other foams. I think in that sweet spot of where I find crawlers, 6.5 to say 8 pounds or so, depending on the size and complexity of the rig, there's not a lot here. Depending on those factors, these foams should do just perfectly. And if they don't, you know, now we have options like the Tim Tin dual stages off of Amazon, which do great, and it's $20 for a full set. You're still looking at something pretty economical here. And I've had to wake that phone up about 10 times now. So I'm going to thank you all for watching. I'm going to ask you to comment below. I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to ask you to go watch some other videos. I've done some reviews on servos. I've done some reviews on other tires. I'm trying to kind of retain this Quickview format, which, as I said early on, for me, half an hour is pretty quick. And I'm not disappointed by these at all. And if you were to get yourself a set, I don't think you would be either. At some point in the future, whether on camera or not, they will get tested on Lil Yella. And this guy will test the ruptures. And we'll see. There might be, like this might be a superior dig tire. The ruptures, as I said, grip a little too much. These seem to be pretty great, but they're on a 4-wheel steer rig. So I tried to do most of the tests without relying on 4-wheel steer. Very impressed. These are quite good. Even at this early juncture in their life, I would not hesitate to recommend them. I genuinely think they're that good. Out of the package, they felt like ruptures. And I don't think you could put a phrase of more praise on a tire than out of the package, they feel like ruptures. So there you have it. It's quick for me. Maybe not quick for anybody else. And thanks again for watching, everybody. Go get some wheeling in. Have a good one.